Hey everybody, and welcome to another special edition video cast from Adafruit. We're broadcasting live in the Adafruit factory. You can even hear the machines and the folks manufacturing that open source hardware that you know and love. Right now we're going to do a little video chat with a visitor, a guest, and much admired person in the Python community, Nina Ninja. You're here. Tell us about us and how to pronounce your last name.
Hi, I'm Nina Zakharenko. I'm a software engineer and Pythonista based out of Portland, Oregon.
Wow, and you're working at Microsoft now.
I am.
And
yeah.
Okay, so here's your deets. So you're a Pythonista, you're a speaker, you're a purple snake, which I agree with. So you are a Python developer and now a Python evangelist?
That's right. I would consider myself more of an advocate, and I've been doing engineering work for almost a decade now. But I've been doing community work on the side for the past 4, maybe 5 years. So last year I decided to switch things up a little bit and start a role in advocacy.
Okay, and you used to be doing Python IoT development? Because I was just looking at some of your...
Python web development.
Web development, okay,
yeah.
But you're now, what are you most interested in now, especially in Python? Because Python does so much. What are you excited about?
I'm excited about all of the features in Python 3 that are up and coming.
I wonder, is there some sort of countdown of when Python 2 will be discontinued and then everyone has to use Python 3?
Yeah, so
when is that?
January 1st, 2020.
That's coming up real soon. How many days away is that?
Thanks to this handy Python 2.7 countdown timer that I built on the PyPortal, I know it's exactly 186 days, 10 hours, and 15 minutes.
So if you want to keep running Python 2.7 scripts and feel good and confident about it, this is how long you have, so enjoy it. And then what if this clashes with my drapes?
Yeah, with
this
your
design.
pink hair.
With my pink hair, it's a little too blue. I want a different color. How do I change that up?
Yeah, so when I first got the PyPortal, I was really excited about the touchscreen capabilities. So there's a Python 2.7 countdown timer, I believe on pythoncountdown.org.
Yeah.
But it's very, kind of academic. It's very dry, and I wanted something a little bit more fun. Yeah, snazzy.
Snazzy.
And so for the one that I built, I put in a few themes so you can match your mood. Let's take a look at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Plain theme. Ooh, space theme.
Space theme, yeah.
Space theme. Kind of cyber theme here.
This one kind of matches our hair.
Yeah, that one's nice.
Yeah. Different. There's got different fonts.
A very plain one. Yeah. Kind of boxy. This is very, Pygame.
Yeah, it's like a snack.
Snack?
Yeah.
You had a lot of fun converting all these fonts, I can tell. It's a good time. So you're excited about the Python 2 countdown, and are you spending a lot of your time kind of convincing people, hey, Python 2 is over, Python 3 is the way?
Well, believe it or not, Python 3 is about 10 years
old now. It's the new thing that's been around for a decade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this moment is kind of really exciting. It's been coming for a long time, and there's been a lot of resistance, but now all of the major libraries have
now that once NumPy kind of moved over, everyone's like, guys, you get it.
Django and all the other big packages.
PyQt, they're all moved over. So we are still seeing some Python 2 holdouts, but I've converted plenty to Python 3. It's not too bad.
Yeah, and if you use kind of the latest and greatest, Python 3.7 has f-strings.
There's all sorts of good stuff going on. I'm digging it. There's async people are excited about. CircuitPython, which is what the PyPortal is based on, is 3.4. But I think it'll probably slowly but surely catch up to 3.5, 3.6, and 3.7.
I hope
so. The first place we saw you was you gave a talk and you had these amazing earrings, which you're actually wearing now.
I am.
And you posted this photo and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a Gemma. Tell us about this earring. Why did you build this and what event were you at when you displayed this?
Yeah, so I built these actually a few years ago based on a tutorial by Becky Stern.
Okay.
But I wanted more LEDs and kind of more bling and more, sequins.
It looks just blingy.
But it was one of the first kind of microcontroller based projects that I built, and also the very first one that I upgraded to CircuitPython.
Had you ever done microcontroller projects before?
Yeah, I kind of more for fun. I really like wearables and taking LEDs and just decking myself out in them. I love costuming.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go to Burning Man, for example, these are great earrings to wear, so you look fashionable and stay safe.
Yeah.
So how, you've used now, you've looking more photos of you, looking snazzy with your earrings. And why are you showing off these earrings on stage, why? I mean, obviously they look amazing and fabulous, but why do you think the developers who are in the audience are interested in this?
Yeah, so I spoke at a conference called All Things Open last year, and I did a keynote about 5 things you didn't know Python could do. And I feel like a lot of people out there don't know that, Python or CircuitPython runs on these little embedded devices. And for me, this is not entirely what I do for work. It's just a hobby, and I really wanted to share my hobby projects, and I had no idea the amount of interest that I would receive in them. People are just so excited when they find out that my earrings run Python. Like, people just, they lost it.
Like,
they
what does that
cannot
mean?
believe it.
Yeah, because it is like a little mind blowing, because
Yeah.
it's like, no, it's really a Python interpreter. It's running there. You can log into it. And so, what inspired you? Did you just see, like, how did you get this idea of, like, you saw this project from Becky, and there was probably an Arduino, and then how did you decide, okay, I'm going to build this in CircuitPython? Like, what was your thought process there? 'Cause I'm always interested in how people, their first experience, how they get introduced.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn these
You should
off.
turn those off, because they're probably heavy and bright.
They're not, no, they're actually not heavy at all.
Okay.
I've worn them for a few hours at a time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. My ears are so tender.
But I've been doing Python, so I started my career out doing enterprise Java development over a decade ago, and I worked on some really dry and boring applications. So I started out working in finance. I worked at HBO writing Java software for satellite control computers.
Isn't it true? Like, all like space stuff is in like embedded Java.
Yeah.
I think it's the memory management, right? Why is it? Why is it?
It's just, enterprise Java. It's kind of, at the time, it was the language a lot of people were coming out of school with, and it's just,
No, I learned Java in school too.
Yeah.
Tragic swing.
Yes, I did a lot of swing.
But Python is so much more enjoyable, which is why I moved over to Python. So is that the same reason, or what made you do the leap?
Yeah, actually, so 7 years ago, I was working at a Java shop, and they had started using some Python for their backend APIs and for scripting. And I wrote some Python. I was like, wow, what is this?
Wow, I can actually do something in 10 lines of code.
And that year, I went to PyCon US. I didn't know that tech conferences were fun. I didn't really know much about open source, and I was kind of, afraid of the experience. I thought I was going to show up, everyone was going to make fun of me for being a noob and not knowing Python and
doing Java.
Yeah, it's just
you have
dreading it.
Like a big brand of the Duke logo on your forehead, and you're just like, what is this triangle with a red dot on it? I don't know.
But I showed up, and the community was just so welcoming. People were really excited that I was there. Folks were excited to teach me. Nobody made fun of me, and I realized right then and there that
I've never seen anybody make fun of anybody doing Python. That's a good thing.
The Python community is so amazing, and I wanted to do more of it, and so I just decided to switch up my career, switch up what I was doing, and I've been doing Python ever since.
You came back and you're like, I am not writing any more Java.
Yeah.
That's what happens. It's true. It's true. Once people go Python, they don't go back.
Right.
Okay, so that was 7 years ago. So then you started doing Python in industry, and then you started being. I think it sounds this experience you had at PyCon was so good that you're like, I want to be part of this community.
Yeah.
You said you're doing more community advocacy now.
Yeah. Not only do I want to be part of the community, I also want to pay it forward and interest and engage other people like they did for me.
Okay. All right, so we have some questions that I want to get to.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done these beautiful earrings. You've done this amazing Python countdown, which in 186 days you'll have to figure out some other project to do. Maybe the Python 4 countdown. I don't know. What other projects are you looking to build? What are you working on right now? What do you want to get working on this summer?
Yeah, so I always have a lot of projects in my pipeline. They don't always get finished.
No, that's how you have to.
Yeah. But
never bored.
The thing I'm excited about working on, so I got a Pi badge.
Okay.
And I'm going to be working on a expovert indicator for my Pi badge.
Expovert?
Expovert. So
expovert?
A lot lot of people wouldn't guess this about me.
Extrovert versus expovert.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I think this is like a machine learning thing. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
I'm very introverted, but I go to a lot of conferences and I love talking to people. But sometimes I just hit a wall. So I'm extroverted at conferences. Expovert.
Okay, got it. So you're an expovert.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think it's part of it is, when you're at an expo, maybe you're extroverted because you're like, I feel like these people understand my excitement.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm always excited about this thing, but most people honestly don't care. But here they care.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to work on a project with that.
Yeah, because, I love talking to people, but eventually I just kind of hit a wall and I need some introvert time and alone time to recharge.
Go to the hotel room.
Yeah, have a break.
Watch TV.
And so I want to use my Pi badge along with LED lanyard, kind of based on a project that one of my coworkers did. His name is Tommy Faldo.
Okay.
That's going to kind of display if I'm interested in chatting right now or not. So maybe, red Pi badge and red lanyard means, not right now, I need some space.
Maybe it'll also tell you, it'll be like, hey, I've heard a lot of loud noises in the last few hours. I think you're going to start wearing down.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Yeah. Have you had any quiet time lately?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We should put a microphone on there and it'll not listening to recording, just seeing how loud it is. Because definitely, loud sounds make me tired.
So I'm pretty excited about that. And then a medium I've liked working with lately is with rhinestones and LEDs. So I have some interesting jewelry that I want to make in the pipeline with individually addressable LEDs and some circuit python. Yeah,
and put those cool jewels on top. They give them that extra sparkle, which is nice, especially when they're next to LEDs that are lit up and it bounces off. It looks so good. So you got this Pi badge coming up. You got more rhinestone stuff going on, and then. So are there any other projects you're working on that are not just Circuit Python related? Because it's fair, you can tell me you're doing embedded Java. That's cool. I'm understanding.
I have a few things in that.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll post them up and tweet them, and we'll see them. So here we do a lot of the development of Circuit Python. It's a community effort. We're not the only ones writing Circuit Python code. We have dozens of contributors. All of them are amazing, and you've contributed example code that we've merged in, and at PyCon I think you also contributed some code, so that's good. Oh, sorry. So do you have any ideas or suggestions for us on Circuit Python?
Yeah.
What do you want to see?
I want to see it faster.
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
It's faster now. The Sandy 51 is faster, but we're also looking at more chips. So speed.
Yeah.
What else?
I would love to see some improvements like F strings.
Yeah, that's 3.7.
3.7.
I know. It's funny. I'm like a C strings lady, so I'm still like I'm not even using format. I'm like %S, %D, and I'm sure people are terrified by it, but I don't know. I'm just used to that. I grew up with those, and
so for those who don't know, F strings allow you to put in special control characters right into your string, and then you can put an expression or just a variable name in between them. So no %, no dot format. I feel like it's it's also a lot easier for beginners to grasp.
A little bit like bash scripting a little bit. They can insert. You can kind of insert things wherever you want. I haven't used F strings myself, but it sounds like I should. So it's in 3.7. I'll try that out. I'll upgrade my machine. So catching up to 3.7 faster. Third request, you get 3.
Ooh,
it's like a genie.
Is it like a monkey's paw?
Yeah, I don't know. It's faster, but you can only type one character. I don't know. What else?
Maybe some more libraries.
Libraries. Okay, we got 150 libraries so far, but more is better. Yeah. I know we're working on an MQTT library right now, so it'll be handy for IoT projects. We've got the Turtle library that we're working on porting. I don't know if you've used Turtle before.
No.
Some Pythonistas are like really into Turtle, and some of them are like, I have no idea. So it's like built in.
Yeah.
So it's like a logo-esque language. So we have that for Display.io and CircuitPython. So
I would love to play GIFs from Python.
Yeah, it's possible. We have done that in Arduino, so I definitely have the code for it. I think we just have to figure out like how do we insert that in. But I think that's something I'd like to see too.
Yeah.
Is the ability to play animations, because you can do audio, but then how do you make animated? And animated GIFs solve a lot of problems I've determined.
Yeah, but more GIFs are more better.
Yes, more GIFs are more better, especially like good memes.
Yes.
The best memes. Only the best memes. Okay, so you are giving a ton of talks. You gave a talk at PyCon, and you gave it this talk, 5 things you didn't know about Python. That was recently a video.
I gave that talk last year, and then released a short video with a coworker this year.
Good. Because I just saw them. I'm going to watch it this weekend. Where else are you speaking coming up, and how else can people see talks that you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm next month I'm speaking at OSCON. It's a big open source conference in Portland in July.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah?
I spoke at OSCON. Yeah, a long time ago.
I've never been or spoken there, so I'm excited.
It's kind of a beautiful city. Yeah. But I've had fun at OSCON, yeah.
Awesome. So I have OSCON coming up. I'm speaking at PyCon Australia in August.
This is here?
Yeah.
Here, sorry.
And I'm excited to give a brand new talk. I've been wanting to teach people about debuggers and PDB and
Ooh,
other
I never
tools.
used PDB. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah. So I'm really thrilled about giving this talk, and then I also just accepted a speaking slot at DjangoCon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I went last year. It was really fun. It's in beautiful sunny San Diego.
So you're and this is part of you as like a Microsoft Python advocate.
Yeah, it's
And also
about me.
yourself and I mean, is it? I'm assuming that I'm seeing Microsoft do so much more with Python
Yeah.
lately, and you're part of that.
Yeah, so my goal when I go to conferences is to kind of meet folks who are using our tools and services, and make sure that the feedback that they're giving and their wish list makes it.
They
to
get 3
the
wishes. Remember?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
And so, why is Microsoft so excited about what are they doing with Python at Microsoft?
Yeah. So just how I love Python, it's just kind of becoming the smashing success. It's great for education. It's really it's a language that's becoming one of the most popular in the world, and it also has really high satisfaction ratings. So developers who do use Python, they
Interesting.
love
I didn't even think about that. It's true. There's a language and people use it, but do they like using
Yeah.
it?
it. And so there's a lot going on with Python at Microsoft. I think my favorite thing is the Python extension for VS Code.
Okay.
Yeah, so VS Code is a lightweight editor. It's fully open source.
People are
and-
loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm seeing there's more activity going on with CircuitPython as well. So there's definitely Python support, and having especially when you want to, because it's white space sensitive language. That's the one thing you got to watch out for. Having an editor that understands that and helps you is key.
Yeah, so there's, you can set up your linters, you can set up your formatters, but what I really like about it is it's pretty plain. You don't have to set up those things if you don't want to.
Yeah.
The power in VS Code comes from extensions that you can kind of add on what you need, and it doesn't become, this big kind of slow piece of bloatware.
Yeah, and so you think Microsoft is looking at, because Microsoft has a long history with C#, for example. So how do you see, you personally, how do you see that interfacing with Python? Like what's the connection there? What do you think each are good for?
Yeah, so I think there's this kind of understanding that each developer community is different, right? And they have different needs and different wants in terms of not just the tooling, but the products that they want to use and interface with. So I think that's where we have a lot of cool things coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, I think they both solve different issues. I think if you need something on really fast and really native, C#'s where it's at. But if you're prototyping, developing, or you're making a more complicated application, that maybe speed is not like the number one most important thing. Usability is.
Yeah.
That's where I would reach for Python for sure.
Yeah, and there are a lot of companies like Dropbox who they base their success on Python. If it was
I remember it was like the original app was like it was Python. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is crazy that you're able to do this, but it worked great. And I
Yeah.
think they were able to iterate so fast because it was in Python. So there's also, you mentioned VS Code, and I know that there's a survey about using CircuitPython, and also there's some activity happening this summer. Tell us about that, because I think people watching are interested.
Yeah, so we have a group of amazing interns in Vancouver at the Microsoft Garage, and they're I can't tell you too much about it, but they're in the process of
Secret Garage?
Secret Garage, yeah, of working on a VS Code extension that's going to make working with CircuitPython and Adafruit devices a lot easier.
And I think also, other Python on hardware devices too. Not CircuitPython, yes, but we're starting to see more and more embedded hardware makers are starting to add Python on hardware, whether it's MicroPython or Xarinth or XB, whatever it is. I know there's so many different kinds of embedded Python now, which is great. I mean, Python's open source. You can port it to other platforms.
And the interns are so excited about their project. That's
great.
the best part.
Well, you have the Circuit Playground Expresses, right? So they're all really, they know what they're going to be building. Okay, so people are watching. They're probably like, "Wow, you are like an expert at Python." Let's say they want to learn Python. I know this is a kind of dumb question. Like, everyone's like, "How do they learn?" Where would they go to learn about Python?
Yeah, so just this year I released a series of 2 screencasts that I taught. I put a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of love into these. They're available at nina.to/courses.
Okay.
And They're 2 full day courses. You can watch them by subscription.
Okay.
So that's where you kind of get the video and everything is laid out chapter by chapter, and I've gotten a lot of really great feedback about it. But I also, I put so much time and effort into the course material that I wanted to give back to the community. So all of the course material, all of the exercises, that's all on GitHub, and it's available for free at learnpython.dev.
Okay, so you can go to learnpython.dev if you are like, look, I just want to read this text and I'll follow along, and I'm a DIYer at heart. But if you want to watch these carefully crafted videos that take you through it, and some people learn visually, and they like it when a person is explaining stuff, they can check out the Front-End Masters, Intermediate, and Beginner Python series. What about experts? Do you have any suggestions for experts or pros?
Yeah, there are quite a few really great books that are available. Raymond Hettinger is a great resource, so he has books and screencasts as well for kind of the more advanced Python audience.
Okay. So is there any other, you've been like making so much media, is there any other media that you're making? You do talks, you do lessons?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I blog occasionally at nnja.io.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going to be posting all of the code and the resources for this Python 2.7 countdown timer.
I know you have 186 days and 95 hours to get it going. Also, you have a Twitter account. People can subscribe to that.
I tweet too much, probably.
That's okay. Tweet all you like. It's free.
Please follow me. I'm on Twitter at nnja. That's also my GitHub.
Okay. And then, here, people are probably watching and they're like, wow, what you're doing is amazing. I want to help you.
Yeah.
How can they help you? What can people do to help you and the developer community?
Yeah, I would love to get folks idea for improvements on this Python 2.7 countdown timer. I think some of the code that I wrote for it around theming, each theme has a different background. Each one has a different font. It has a different font color and different, placement.
So you want people to submit their own?
Yeah, they can submit their own themes, or maybe give me ideas for pulling out the theming component into its own library.
Interesting. Yeah, we can do skinning.
Yeah.
We're basically back to Winamp.
Yes.
Right? Okay, well, you definitely whipped the llama's ass, no question. Is there anything else I should ask you? Anything else you want to tell people about? We've told people to go to your talks, check out your speeches and workshops and events. You're really busy.
I'm really busy. There is one other thing I wanted to shout out.
Good.
So I have been, doing conference talks for the past few years, and recently, this past year, I kind of accidentally wrote a book on how to give conference talks.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot to ask you about that.
Yeah. Yes. So I wrote this really kind of all-encompassing 7-part series on, how to pick a conference, how to submit a proposal, what tooling I use to put my talks together.
A lot of people are scared of it. They're like, you're like, I don't know what to do, and like, what if my talk's not good enough? And it's tough because you might be rejected the first time. And it's not a rejection of you. It's just like there's a lot of really good talks. They may not be able to fit you in. Yeah. But you should keep trying. Yeah, rejection is scary, but I'm a firm believer that anybody who's interested in technology is capable of giving a captivating conference talk. There's no class that you and I took and giving talks. No. It's just practice. And also, there's local small events that are good to practice with. There's always meetups that will, you can pretty much just get up on stage and they'll be like, sure, here you go, here's the pointer. And that's a good way to get practice with doing talks before you maybe submit to a bigger national conference, which I think a lot of people want to do that maybe, but it's a bit much. It's a little scary, but a lot of people think, well, all the topics have been covered, I don't have anything to say. But I think your story, how you learned something, what mistakes you made along the way, that's kind of the most interesting part of a tech talk. So I think everyone has something to submit. The series that I wrote is on nina.2/talks. That's where you can find. Is it testandcode.com/44? Is it different? But I spoke with Brian Oken on his Test and Code podcast about it too, so you can catch that as well. All right. I'm going to make sure all the URLs we put in this video. Yeah, but I really want to see more beginners in the space. I really want to see more people kind of come out and do it, even though it's scary. And I'm not a natural at it. Yeah. My first lightning talk was so bad. My friends, kind of pushed me into doing it. I didn't want to. I was so afraid that I was just
shaking the whole time, and it was just 5 minutes, and I did it. I went to take off the microphone, it got stuck in my hair.
Oh my
So I'm
God.
just standing there, like, sweating, you know, like panicking, like I want to run away, but I can't, I'm wired. And I actually put up a video of that in the blog post that I wrote, just to be like, you know, I've gotten better at it because I've practiced for 5 years. I am not a natural. I was not always good at it.
People can watch the first interview I ever did, and it was so... It's so cringeworthy.
Yeah.
I can't even really watch it.
My voice was shaking, like it was so bad. But I've gotten better, and I wrote up all these tips. You know, they're all mistakes that I have made.
Okay.
So that know the readers don't have to make the same mistakes. They can come up with new and creative ways to fail on their own.
Interesting. So you're approaching it sort of like as a developer, not as like, hey, there's actually step-by-step methods to debugging this.
Yeah.
And practicing it. It's not like, oh, either you have it or you don't.
Right.
Which is not very helpful.
Yeah, I wanted to take some of the mystery out of it.
Okay.
You know, what's the process? Or
I
my
think
process.
There's no more beginners than experts.
Yes.
So there's definitely an audience. If you want to give talks to beginners because you're a beginner, that's perfectly fine.
One of my misconceptions, you know, when I first started doing tech talks, I'm like, everyone in the room is going to know more than me, and I'm going to say the wrong thing, and they're all going to laugh at me. But no.
And like someone's going to raise their hand, they're like, you're wrong.
I mean, sometimes that person is there.
I know, that's true.
But that's not the whole audience, you know. The people wouldn't be in that room if they don't want to see you, and if they weren't interested in your topic.
True. They are on your side. They are your advocates, not your adversaries. Okay, so with that, I want to tell people, don't forget to check out her blog, her Twitter, her talks, her courses, and all the events that you're about to go to in Australia and in OzCon, PyCon AU, PyCon AU coming up, OzCon in Portland.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll see you at PyCon next year, wherever
100%.
US, wherever it may be.
It's going to be my 8th in a row. And it's going to be in Pittsburgh.
Okay, cool. Well, that's not too far from here. Maybe we'll go.
Maybe we'll see you there.
Yay! Well, yeah, we'll be prepared, crew.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I'd like to thank Nina for coming by and visiting and doing this video cast with us. So check out her stuff. And if you haven't tried Python before, it's an amazing language, and we're here to be developer advocates for you to check it out. It's better than Java. Ding! Bye, everybody.